I'm pressing record on the sound.
Cool. That's fine by
I'm
me.
going to press import here. Does it in the set? It says okay, and then we end up syncing up. Okay.
Whoa.
Have you got things you need?
Dude, I have everything I need.
Okay.
I already drank my drink. To be fair, when we were at the Hellenic, I was sitting there going, should I order two?
It's always tempting to order two. Should we? We need to at some point do visuals for the theme song if we're going to be video.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
We need to redo it. What about if we have this up and for the intro? Do you want to hold? Is that upside down?
No. Throw it away.
God. Okay. Intro and okay. Now.
Wait.
Is it bow now? Just that over and over again.
I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been too long.
Okay, hold on. Imagine the intro. Down. Record scratch.
Whoa.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
This is Ref speaking. My name's Ref.
Oh, I'm Connor.
And we are the co-hosts of Definitely Doomed. But we're also today on video.
We are.
I hope you enjoy being here. It looks like you're a security cam. And you're here with us. We are here. I don't know if you know this. This is breaking news, by the way. We are postponing our... It's not a mid-season break. Just
Post-season break.
We're postponing our summer post... It's not summer, but it's
winter, specifically.
We're postponing our winter post-season break.
Yeah.
Because of some giant news that came out yesterday. And we are reporting this pretty as quickly as physically possible for us. I'm pretty impressed. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of
we did spend about 2 hours talking this morning, but besides that, yeah.
That's just called being friends.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What about, have you heard of the phrase the dirt sheets?
No.
Okay, the dirt sheets are, it's a thing in wrestling. The dirt sheets are the publications and the channels and all the people who talk about like leaks and rumors and storylines.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's... so the dirt sheets, and the wrestlers will talk about it, they'll be like, oh, the dirt sheets have been talking about how I'm not signing my contract.
Ah, okay. Bit like a blind item.
Yes. It's like de moi, but for wrestling. You follow de moi?
I don't know what that is.
Or okay, Mag. Anyway.
Okay, yes.
All I'm saying is today...
What is de moi?
It's a fancy Instagram page you do who like talk about celebs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. All I'm saying is today we officially are Buffy the Vampire Slayer dirt sheet reporters.
Yeah.
Because we are here to talk about rumors, speculations, articles, and we're not here talking about an official press release. That's what I meant. That was my long-winded way of saying that we are now officially dirt sheet reporters for the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are talking speculation.
Speculation, theories, and we're doing it all out of love.
Completely.
Love for the game. Who reported this?
Her name is Nelly Andreeva.
Okay, and for what publication?
Deadline.
Thank you to Deadline for posting this. And what are we here to really talk about?
So the title is titled Buffy the Vampire Slayer Reboot, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, Niers Hulu, pilot order with Chloe Zhao directing.
This is big news.
That's massive.
It's actually the biggest news we could have thought about, especially, we finished season 1.
Yep.
Commentating season 1 of this podcast. We've been talking about season 2. We've been getting excited.
We have.
I would not have bet any money that in between season 1 and 2, we would have to be talking about a possible...
No, especially since... Sorry.
I said reboot, then I got scared because reboot's scary. You go.
What I was going to say is we were also going to talk about what we would do for a reboot, but we were saving it for the pod. We were saving for maybe the end of all of it that we were going to talk about what we would do to reboot it.
We were so convinced there would never be a reboot. That, once we finished our commentary, we were going to then do this really long kind of series on how we would continue the show, how we'd bring it back. And so it would have been this kind of weird everyone would be like, oh no, the podcast is done. And then it would have been like fanfic. It would have been like, but guess what? Now we're going to show run our own reboot. We're going to do our own thing.
Now we might not have to.
First thoughts first, because we haven't talked about it too much. On your feelings, we're talking about feelings now. On the scale of apprehensive and anxious to pure excitement, where are you?
Pure excitement.
All the way?
Yep.
So we're doing... We've got video this time.
I keep forgetting. I keep just staring at you.
You can stare at me.
What? Hello. Yeah.
I'm at excitement.
I'm pure excitement.
Were you before this news?
Yep.
If someone had come up to you on the street, why?
Yep.
Whoa, Connor, you the one from Definitely Doomed? You're the Buffy guy.
Yeah, and they would have been like, "Oh my god, it's this bastard."
Yeah, and imagine they go, "Oh, do you want a Buffy reboot? Like, you know, like, would you take a Buffy reboot? Where would you have been on the scale?"
Would I take a Buffy reboot? Sure.
Yeah.
Did I think a Buffy reboot was going to be good? Probably not.
No.
This news has me going.
Yep. Okay. So I want to.
Maybe it was just hopelessness. Maybe it was Joss Whedon ruining it.
Yeah. Do you know what's also fun? And this is a funny thing as well. I used to say classic stuff like, "Oh, the sun's gone, by the way. It's fine. We've got a cool moody lighting." Season 1. We're season 1 of Buffy. I used to, say the cliche things like, "Oh, you don't need to touch it. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
Why do we always want to return to stuff?
Yeah.
Why can't we let this thing lie?"
I agree to a degree.
And I do sometimes think about it. But you know what? As soon as the news broke, but it was different. We'll talk about it because there's been news before of like a Buffy reboot, but this felt different.
This feel different.
One, as soon as the news happened, all of that it just dissipated. Cynicism?
Cynicism, yeah.
And you know what emerged?
Hope
and love.
Yeah.
Enjoyment.
Completely agree. I was the exact same way.
I'm honestly...
Literally, a week ago, if you'd asked me, I'd be like, I don't think they could do it.
I don't want it.
Because of the... don't really want it that much.
Who could even do it?
It's just going to change what it was. But now, literally, hope and love.
So we'll talk, and I'm glad we're on the same page. Let's quickly talk through... because we don't know too much.
We don't.
Let's just quickly talk about, I guess, the team. From looking at it, there's 4 people who are producing. So it's a pilot. Just to get this off the bat.
Yes.
It looks like the rumor is a pilot episode has been greenlit.
Yes.
For Hulu. So for one, that means in England it will be on Disney Plus, but it's a streaming.
Yes.
So it'd be a streaming.
It'll be on Hulu
show.
Plus in.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what they have in England. It's different, isn't it? But. So it'd be streaming, wouldn't be on TV, which is already different.
Very different.
Already feels, slightly different.
They gotta keep it episodic though. Every week.
We'll see.
They gotta.
I think Disney. Well, no, because I don't know what Hulu do, but I think they do. I think that's every week. I think it's only like Netflix really don't. But anyway, it'd be on streaming, so we know that much. It's just a pilot. Some streaming places don't do pilots. That's interesting. They are doing a pilot.
I was gonna say.
From looking at from all the articles, it's just a pilot, but a writer's room is being assembled, and it feels very likely that a show would happen.
Felt very exciting when I read some of that writer's room.
Same, and we'll get through it. But and it's just, I'm sure everyone kind of knows how it works, but you make a pilot, if it's good enough, it goes to show.
Yeah.
The original Buffy had a pilot, which is very different to the show, which one day we'll commentate.
We're going to one day do that.
Also,
different Willow and stuff.
This isn't Sarah Michelle Gellar's first pilot reboot. I don't know if you remember, but she did a pilot episode that she produced for Cruel Intentions, the TV show.
Yes, she did.
About 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago, back when it was a lot of reboots were happening.
Yeah.
The pilot got made. Also, it looked like it was going to be a show.
Yeah.
And then it didn't go to order.
Yeah, fair.
So that is a cautionary tale.
And there is to be fair, there's a Cruel Intentions TV show now.
Yes, but not with her.
But not with her, no.
One thing that's interesting off the bat, we've already said before, I don't think we've mentioned it, no Joss Whedon involvement, it says.
No Joss Whedon?
In my head, legally, my only hope for this is because I don't want Joss Whedon involved. But legally, I've got a feeling they probably asked. I think he must have had some rights attached.
He must have some rights attached.
In my head, he at least would have had to pass the keys.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think about it too much.
And I don't want to give any credit, but my hope is, in terms of all this, just so we can get the Whedon problem out of the way, trying to be as optimistic as possible, I just hope that the team, someone went to him and said, look, we want to do this, people are involved, you have to say yes.
Yeah.
He went, am I involved? They went, no, and that he just bit his tongue and went, do what you want. That's the hope. So I do got a feeling maybe legally he would be able to stop it. That's what I mean.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I think, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, it's the thing, because he's a creative writer, does he have some sort of copyright on that? Who knows?
I know that when they first went to TV, he had to say yes or no because he wrote the movie.
Yeah.
There's a few, anyway, legality, that's who cares about it, but he's not involved. But my hope maybe, and one nice thing is I hope that he was able to, at least he can give it away without any drama. I don't want any tweets or articles or think pieces called like How Buffy Got Taken From Me.
Yeah.
Not fast. So
No,
the hope
don't,
is,
please.
let's hope we don't have to think about it. Let's think about then the first thing we'll mention is Sarah Michelle Gellar is one of the main producers, right?
Yes, I believe
I think
so.
from reading it, we'll get through the article. I think there's 4 people kind of producing the pilot.
Yes.
Not like big time, but like kind of creative producers.
Yes.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is one of them. That's big.
That's real big.
Because, that's very different.
Because I feel like she hasn't really wanted it until now.
No, the article also, okay. Everyone should read this article, because I think we were going to read through it, but I think we'll just make reference to it.
Yeah.
So I think it mentions, this all came about because of what we talked about before, which was that Sarah Michelle Gellar at a press conference for that Dexter show.
Yeah, Dexter original
She
thing.
randomly gets asked, would you do Buffy again? And for the first time, she said, because of seeing how well fun Dexter was and Sex and the City, the reboot, it's made me think, and now my kids are old and all this, I actually think maybe it would be good because the world needs heroes. Something like that.
That's really lovely.
And she thought, she's always been like, I don't want to touch it. And she said and apparently, according to that article, as soon as she said that, is kind of what we were speculating.
Yeah.
She was contacted.
Yeah.
Because I think Buffy has been this weird little sleeping giant.
I think so as well.
I just think that there's been too many people saying no. And most of these things, like a 90s popular show.
I think they literally needed her.
They needed her, one. They needed
I don't think they need many other of the old characters.
They need Buffy.
But they need Buffy.
And we've had a slight reboot recently. We had the Audible thing.
We did have the Audible thing, which had a lot of
fanfare.
I
listened
also
to it. I enjoyed
a lot
it.
of other cast members in it. You had James Masters,
but no Buffy.
Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
You had who plays Tara? Amber Benson.
Yeah.
You had the person who played Anya. I can't remember her
Yeah,
name. What was her name? Emma Caulfield. Had all them.
So we know all those people would be willing to probably come back if they came back for Audible. But one, that got cancelled, which got people wondering because the show did well.
It did.
And people were like, why would you cancel it? Now, the timeline doesn't really match up, but there's always part of you like, oh, maybe it's because
they cancel dumb things all the time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't part of that. She's never been part of anything, whatever. She's finally seeming back on board. It's impressive if it's happening this quick. But also I think it shows that it has been a sleeping giant of like a property, and there's a lot of people willing to work on it.
I was going to say.
So as soon as she was ready,
it sounded like it got pounced on.
Because it's, Disney owned Buffy.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to Disney don't just sit on stuff.
No, they don't.
You could, Disney, say what you will about them, but they want to use their properties.
Disney theme park? Disney Buffy theme park? Can you imagine?
But that's okay. So in terms of the producers, do you want to get the article up?
Yeah.
We have Sarah Michelle Gellar. We haven't even talked about the creative team, which is why we're so excited.
So the creative team, Chloe Zhao.
Let's quickly go for Chloe Zhao. For people that don't know Chloe Zhao, Oscar-winning director.
Yep.
Won Best Director at the Oscars and Best Movie for Nomadland.
Yes.
Which was a movie that I love
dearly.
Yeah. Really, I'm glad to say that, that's not me retroactively. That's a movie I watched, I think, 2 or 3 times, like in the cinema. We've got it on Blu-ray. It's on Disney Plus. I put it on in the background sometimes. One of the prettiest movies I think ever made.
She makes pretty movies, because we had a very long conversation, me and you, about this about a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yes, we did.
About Chloe Zhao's Eternals, which we both really enjoyed.
Really liked
for how absolutely stunning it was.
A stunning movie, and also an underappreciated movie.
I agree.
A movie that I think was just kind of not. It just came out at the wrong kind of time.
I agree.
People can kind of. I do think the one thing it maybe lacked was a little bit of heart at times.
But
I think, that's. I don't blame her.
I also don't think that's why people didn't like it.
No, me either.
No.
But visually looked amazing. The action was incredible. The amount of
the visuals. All that.
And Nomadland. That movie is full of heart, full of emotion, full of just absolute beauty. She made a film called The Rider, which I have on Blu-ray as well. That's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And she makes these stunning. What's so interesting, I think, about Chloe Zhao is that she makes these stunning, like, indie movies.
Yep.
She then makes a stunning Oscar-winning movie.
Yes.
And what she does with that is she does the least cool thing possible, really. She says, I want to make big action stuff because I've not done it. I've kind of like perfected this thing. I want to make this. She then tries to make this beautifully stunning, ambitious Marvel movie that, let's be honest, people weren't really ready for.
No.
And also, I think parts of it faltered because of the Marvel machine it was in.
Completely.
You know? I think what she did...
People had engaged in the Marvel fatigue at the time.
Yeah.
Which, fine. Whatever.
And it did have all the beats of a Marvel movie. And she was playing in the sandbox she was given, right?
She was, yeah.
But I think she did great.
She was playing an action movie, and she did it great.
And since then, I think she has a movie that's coming out
just read this. It's got Paul Mescal in it and Jessie Buckley.
Okay.
Hamnet.
All right. And that, I'm sure, we don't know about that. But in terms of what we've seen, she is a genuine visionary and not someone we've talked. I think we'd mentioned when we talked before we had this podcast, we talked about her when we were talking about our how we would bring Buffy back.
Did we?
We mentioned her because we were talking about the Eternals. So we did talk about her. Not loads. We were throwing loads of names out.
Yeah.
I did not expect this at all.
Chloe Zhao seems too big name for it.
Which I think shows how it's a sleeping giant.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think it shows that also there's a lot of love in the Buffy sphere.
And the fact that, in a way, and it's a sandbox that, you got this Oscar-winning director who can kind of make all these, do lots of things, probably allowed to do a few things.
Yeah.
She's in the Marvel sandbox, does her thing. And in my head, I'm like, I like the idea of, because I've always tried to think of I think the Buffy-verse and that kind of thing is this giant sandbox that just doesn't get used enough.
No, it doesn't.
And if Chloe Zhao wants to play in that sandbox, and if Sarah Michelle Gellar is up for it, then this is, honestly, I don't really know who would have got me more excited, and it wasn't an obvious pick.
No, I don't think it wasn't an obvious pick in the slightest, and I love it for that. But I don't know who else I would have picked. I think this is a really good pick for director.
Yep.
In that it does feel like someone that cares about what they do.
And also, we'll bring it up because I do it every episode. We've got Laura Palmer here you can't really see it, from Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is the perfect thing in terms of how to bring something back.
Yes.
And maybe other people won't agree, but Twin Peaks, The Return, for me, is the absolute perfect way to bring something back.
Yep.
It's not that I want that it be a Buffy The Return. But in some ways, what was so good about Twin Peaks is that Twin Peaks The Return isn't season 3 of Twin Peaks.
No.
It is. It looks visually so different. It does have old characters, but they're not the main focus.
No, they're not.
And it is. It's just like kind of. It's so modern. It's pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't want a season 8. I want a sequel.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so with this, what is good is, sure, I want old people involved. I want cast members. I want Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
I want all of this. But if we're going down this route, like we said, we don't want Buffy season 8. We want, in a way, Buffy the Return, but its own thing.
Yeah.
And one part of the Return, which was really scary at the beginning, but I now appreciate, was that visually, Twin Peaks had a really visual look. Beautiful, like soap opera, hazy film look.
Yeah.
The Return comes out digital, cold, weird.
Yeah.
Buffy the show has a very visual look.
Yeah.
It changes a bit, but it's got this very kind of B-movie kind of
yes, it does,
schlocky kind of look. It's not the most pretty show.
I was going to say this to you last night, and thank God I saved it.
Waited.
All right, guys. Is that Buffy, there's scenes in it that I'm like, oh, that's very visually stunning.
Yeah.
But as a show, I wouldn't say it's a pretty show.
No, maybe we'll be proved wrong at times when we do the podcast. But I don't think it's something you think about.
There are scenes where I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, like Buffy fighting Angelus.
Yeah, and
that scene, that's all very cinematic, very beautiful.
Once More Feelings, very cinematic.
Yeah.
Hush is the cinematic moment.
Like even the final scene where they're standing over the downtown. These are all very cinematic things, but I'm very much looking forward to what Chloe Zhao will bring, where I'll look at a scene and I'll be my breath taken away from how beautiful it is.
Yeah, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show it's of its time. There's 20 odd episodes. They're making it quick. It's every year.
Yep.
You can't be as precious about how it looks and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But with this, we don't know much about it. But if it's a shorter series, and you've got someone like Chloe Zhao, it's going to look genuinely stunning.
I was going to say,
and it'll make it feel different.
It will be like, do you know Doctor Who when it went with the Disney money?
Yeah.
Suddenly the quality went real up and it got real pretty. That's probably the similar thing. It's a similar kind of thing where it's like a continuation or reboot of a very popular thing that Disney are now putting money into.
Yeah, like obviously we don't know because we don't know that maybe everyone involved will be like, actually we want to make it just look like it did.
Maybe.
But the thing is, I just like the idea that it feels like there's going to be a lot of care put into this.
Yes.
Let's talk about the writers.
The writers. So the writers are Nora and Lilia Zuckerman,
who are the showrunners of Poker Face,
yes,
which I watched. You haven't.
I haven't watched, but I'm real desperate to watch it,
and you should,
because it's got Natasha Lyonne in it. It's set in the Knives Out universe, which I love. I'm a big fan. I love a mystery. I'm a very mystery focused boy, so like, I really want to watch it.
Want to know like some reasons why I think this is good news?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Poker Face a tiny bit. Poker Face, kind of like Columbo style thing, where each episode you see the murder.
Yep.
And then you watch Natasha Lyonne figure out the murder. Yeah. So when you're watching it, you always know how it happened.
Yep.
It's not who did it. It's how will she find out.
Yes, which I think is the most interesting part.
Which is a fun thing.
Also, we talked about Natasha Lyonne the other month.
We did. Yeah. So what's fun about Poker Face? A few reasons why I think this is a good fit. Poker Face, one reason I really liked it was one of the most episodic shows I've seen in years. So even though it was like a short kind of series, and even though there's not been a season 2, and it's got all the classic modern TV issues that it's kind of short and it takes years between them, whatever. It was very episodic, but then about halfway through, things start bleeding in, and then there is a storyline, which is Buffy.
I love that stuff.
It's Buffy.
I miss that stuff. I like Stranger Things and stuff like that, but that just continuation where it's just one long kind of narrative, to a degree. I like it every now and again, but I don't want it in everything.
It did feel kind of buff. I remember saying to people, it was fun, this is episodic, and then when things bleed in, you're like, oh, okay, And not only that, but Rian Johnson, when I think of Poker Face, you think of Rian Johnson, but I think it's because he directed a bunch of episodes, and he has such a visual style that he was really allowed to, like, make these little mini movies, these mini movie mysteries, and they feel so, like, filmic and so whatever. So in the same way, as showrunners, I think if they're writing, they were able to kind of like have this good relationship with a kind of film director and make this kind of like episodic TV show, but, give the tools needed for the film director to go in and do their thing.
That's an amazing point.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a great point.
So if those two are doing it, they get to make a short episodic kind of highbrow TV show, but then they know Chloe Zhao's going to do their thing.
Yeah.
It feels like a good fit. Everything's feeling like a good fit.
I was going to say everything feels good at the moment.
Maybe it's too good, but this is what this is why it's fun liking anything. Is when this happens, you can get excited.
Well, exactly. Even us who are slightly pessimistic.
Anything else? Dolly Parton's still involved?
What?
Her production company's still involved?
No. I didn't read that part.
Yeah, it's near the bond. Dolly Parton still involved.
No.
So that's pretty fun.
You keep talking. I'm going to find Dolly Parton.
Is still involved. In terms of that, we know... I don't know much else. And we won't be talking much longer to you all, but we're very excited. All we know is that Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be here. And in terms of other cast members, I found out the news because Emma Caulfield, who plays Anya, posted it on her Instagram. She posted a screenshot of the Deadline article, and she then put, I no longer have to stay quiet, or finally, people know. I don't remember. I should have looked it up. Now, either this is just that Emma Caulfield's bigging up the show.
Are they rebooting Scrubs?
They are rebooting Scrubs. Scrubs you didn't see that news?
No.
Oh, Scrubs is coming back.
I can't find anything about Dolly.
I saw an article.
I'll look it up.
I might be wrong.
It's fine.
Scrubs is coming back.
If Dolly Parton,
everyone's coming back. All the
other ones are coming back.
They announced it on that Scrubs podcast.
Oh, and everyone's coming back. Sarah Chalk's coming back. No, is Carla coming back?
Well, I think so. Yeah. I know, right?
Okay, she's in this
and
TV
Malcolm
show.
in the Middle's coming back.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But Scrubs, Carla's coming back. Carla is in, I don't know her name, that's really sad, but I'll figure out. She's in that high-profile TV show I was telling you about, which is written by Drew Goddard. Another Buffy reference.
Another Buffy alumni.
And it's got Carla in it. Carla, the best character from Scrubs.
Very much so. Yeah. Who shouts at Miss Piggy in A Very Merry Muppet Christmas.
She does.
Did you say it mentioned any other writers? Did it mention anything else? Obviously, when it comes to cast, we know nothing. And I was going to look it up earlier, but I don't know who from the cast has commented on this.
I have only seen Emma Caulfield because
Same.
that's what you sent me.
That's all I've seen. But she's like really close friends with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Is she?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
They're good friends. They put which makes you feel creepy for saying it, but that's something I know. So I don't know if she's just doing it as like a friend, being like, yeah, I'm so excited for Sarah.
Oh no, I feel like because she's recently been involved in a Buffy thing, that she might have been involved already.
Again, this is a no spoiler podcast. We're not talking about anything really in terms of like who could come back, what could happen, but that's it. I think we should probably wrap this one up anyway because we've got another podcast to do. But all I want to say is I'm incredibly excited.
Me too.
The team that's being assembled, I couldn't really be happy for. Like, I could have pitched a few things. It's not what I would have like first pitched, which is why I'm excited.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Chloe Zhao, like we said, I think I would have thought was too high profile to direct the pilot of a Buffy reboot.
Yep.
The writers seem really cool. Again, I've only seen one thing they've done, which is Poker Face, but that was great.
Yeah.
And that was set in another universe, the Knives Out kind of universe.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can work in another sandbox. They can do their thing. They can do a thing. My hopes, if we just go for hopes, my hopes are like a 12 to 13 episode limited series.
Yep.
Where, I want obviously an older Buffy.
Yep.
Having to, deal with something.
Yeah.
I want there to be a lot of new characters.
Yeah, me too.
I want there to be different locations, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, you keep going. I'll say.
No, but okay. And we can do other episodes about this because I think this is like a little mini series now from us. Because we have engaged with, in terms of me personally, I've read a few like what if books, in terms of like, I've recently read one of the Slayer books, which is like imagining basically a season 8.
Yep.
Imagining it a reboot.
Oh, wasn't it Kirsten White as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the season 8 comics.
There is.
Which we've read. I've read all the comics. I've read the like Boom reboot comics.
There's the audiobook.
The Audible show, which I've engaged, so I have seen a lot of, what's interesting is I've now like ingested a lot of, which is why I thought about it a lot of like, what would happen if you brought Buffy back?
Yeah.
But what's weird is Buffy now is going to come back.
It's coming
so
back.
all of that stuff will be erased.
Yeah.
And they've got to do what they want to do. And what route are they going to go down? Who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
We've all got our own thoughts. The book,
is it going to be set in Cleveland?
You could set it in Cleveland. There's the book that I kind of read where Sunnydale gets rebuilt. And that was
terrible idea, you bastards! Don't do that. And that's where the Hellmouth is.
It was good in the book.
Great idea.
Also,
love
it gets really gentrified.
Of course,
because in that book, the fun thing they do is that once Sunnydale, these are all spoilers.
It's fine. This is spoilery. This is spoilery.
Okay, but once by the end, them Sunnydale, after many issues, lots of corporations think it'll make them look good to help make it look good. So then what they do is it becomes this super gentrified. And the joke is that someone says like, oh, do you remember when this used to be a one Starbucks town? But now it's like a kind of crazy,
but also
expansive place.
That's a lot of places for vampires to eat people.
Yes. So you can bring it, you can have Sunnydale involved. You've seen it happen. You can have the Audible one had lots of locations.
I would love Sunnydale to be involved.
I want Sunnydale back.
Unfortunately, do I want?
What?
I want Buffy to be living somewhere else. I kind of wanted to have a kid.
Yes.
Because I think it would be lovely if Buffy had some happiness. And I want for Buffy, I'm hoping maybe in her older age, she's gotten a little bit back the little kind of like hope and spunk she has in the first couple of seasons that she loses through life beating her down constantly.
Also, if Sarah Michelle Gellar's involved, we know she wasn't as much a fan of like season 6. She wasn't much a fan when it got kind of dark. We don't know how it is now. We also know some things that she pitched, which weren't amazing. It's like, which we'll get to in other things. So
I know none of these. Tell me these, Leah.
She wanted Buffy and Dana to end up together in season 7.
Oh, terrible.
So that's why there's a worry if she's a producer.
Well, hopefully she's grown.
Yeah. But since she was like, that would be a nice end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not good.
That's not good.
So if she's like involved,
But if she's surrounded by all this dark stuff, maybe she's just trying to look for the light.
But I do think my hope, and if I'm just thinking, it's my first thoughts, it's this pretty looking show.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that like at the end, again, to try not to give any spoilers, that since we've been there, by the end of Buffy, everyone involved thought that they'd changed the world.
Yep.
Okay? Not only saved it, but changed it.
Yep.
We find out that 20 years later, it isn't changed.
Yep.
Because we now live in a society where like no one believes anything.
Yeah.
People are thinking things are fake.
Yeah.
That no one believes all this stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, things have gotten worse.
Yeah.
So Buffy kind of retired. She's semi-retired, thinking I've fixed things are good.
Yeah.
She gets brought back in the fold because they're like, things are worse.
Yeah.
No one believes anything.
We were trying to reveal that vampires are real. No one believes us.
Yeah. We're trying to do this. No one believes us. We've done this. No one, actually, things have regressed.
Yeah.
Things have gotten worse. And
the Watchers Council is back.
Yeah, so all this stuff happens, and that's what I want.
The Watchers Council is the enemy.
You never know. So that would be what I want.
They try and kill Buffy. They try and take her out.
I think someone is going to have to get to Buffy, a bit like Luke Skywalker or whatever, kind of get to Buffy and be like, we need you back.
Yeah. Well, this is the other...
And she might be a mum. She might be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I just think Buffy... She deserves happiness, and I think she'd be a lovely mum. Anyway, I want Joyce to appear as a ghost.
Yeah.
I want Fred. Give me Fred.
Okay, no, okay. We're gonna end this one very soon, which is as in the next few minutes. Why don't we announce here? The more we learn about this miniseries, we'll do more episodes. Okay.
Yeah.
And this will be a miniseries. This is episode 1, I guess, of the Buffy reboot show or whatever. Because this is breaking news, and that is something we want to talk about. Because if Buffy's coming back, you can't escape Angel.
You can't.
In the same way, you know what? And there has
David Boreanaz has got to pop up.
And there has been some precedent because of that Boom reboot, the Boom reboot of Buffy, the comics. And if you read any of them, that was like a complete reboot. And that had Angel characters from the beginning.
Yes, it did.
That was like imagining season 1 of Buffy again, but they brought in people from Angel straight away.
Yes, they did.
So that's fun. But I do think, and I've said this before, and I don't even know what it would be called, but I think this Buffy... It's not season 8 of Buffy. It's a return. You can tentatively call it Buffy the Return, just for myself.
Yep.
But Buffy the Return, I think, will have to involve people from Angel.
I agree.
think it has to. It has to involve all these different factors.
Yep.
And it has to talk about the original series, show love for it. But also, if you're going to bring it back, and it's when people get annoyed at like Last Jedi and other stuff, but if you're going to bring something back, things had to have gotten worse.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, why are we back?
Well, exactly.
And also, it said it's a meta analysis. Like, why do we want her back?
Yeah. Why do we want Buffy to be back?
And it's like, well, then I'm guessing because we want to see her save how things are.
Yeah. As Buffy says, because we need heroes.
But the thing is, there's a chance that you might ruin the ending of Buffy a little bit because it was a hopeful kind of ending. But guess what? That's fine.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. I'm happy to end here.
Well,
what about you?
The issue with Always Wrath is we could probably talk for hours.
Yeah. This is episode 1.
So, yes, this is episode 1. When we find out more news about it, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Should we do a thumbnail image? What about like... That's good. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us talk about the news that Buffy pilot episode is coming out. Maybe.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. I've been told I wave a lot like this.